Today is office Christmas party day, and I've been doing things to kind of like imitate the calorie count of events I'm missing out of. You know, like eating charcuterie for lunch and eating 5 out of 7 pieces of Rugalock that I brought home because they had them in the half price section, you know, the flea market area of the Kroger. They probably set them there for some specific person that I am not, because when I got it to the cash register it didn't scan, and I told the cashier, hey, this isn't scanning, and then she went and made a phone call, and while she was doing that I was just, you know, trying to scan it through the thing. Finally it beeped, and I know it's somebody up at the office screwing with me, you know, and I'm pretty sure she called him and bitched him out and said, you know, she's blaming this shit on me and you need to knock this shit off. I think she let the word shit out though, you know. Anyway, so I'm sitting here contemplating whether or not to run. But I was thinking about how for years I've had a bottomless stomach. And since I've been running and doing abdominal exercises, my capacity to stuff myself has shrunk, which is kind of crazy because, you know, like I'm doing like 2,600 calories of food a day, but I got to kind of sneak it in little meals because it gets packed in there pretty tight. And so I don't know. I think I might run, but I know that a lot of people are really angry about the fact that I'm running and, you know, alive and can walk and breathe and talk and walk and all that sort of stuff. So, and I'm really starting to think that my milk beer is pretty high octane. But I don't really have a way to test it. I don't understand that part of the process. Maybe I can work on that at some point. Maybe I don't give a fuck. But anyway, yeah. So I'm alive. I'm going to be alive later. They're not going to kill me. If they could kill me, they'd have done it already. And of course, I was thinking about, you know, I wrote the story about, you know, my first Christmas in Valpo. I try to do that at least once a year. And I write it differently every time, but the same details. You know what, Christmas, I think I've decided this year I just don't want to even think about it. I'm like 7 years old, and they're like, yeah, we're not, no, you can't say that stuff in front of people. You have to be a crazy person if that's going to be the case. So they gave me lots of toys, and then Bill said that, you know, I would have gotten more if I'd have been a good kid, and I guess a good kid means whatever Heather was choking on, and then whatever they stuck in my throat later that night. But I kept my eyes closed because I was like 7, and Gramps was somehow, you know, there's a lot of these things where in my memory I see Gramps there. Gramps is telling me stuff, and it's a shaman thing, and you know, he's telling me I got to keep my eyes closed, and his voice was like really louder than theirs in my head, and so, you know, the child me never understood what happened, and so I was thinking about that in contrast to what these Pentecostals and stuff did when they took me home. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's sexual or what, but if it has like an emotional impact on a child, it's like when Sean got into bed with me that one time. He opened the door and got in bed with me, and I freaked the fuck out. And it was like something in my brain just chemically changed, and it is no longer the piece of brain that I used to have, and it will never be that piece of brain again. But whatever they were planning to do to me that night, I kept my eyes closed, and I didn't have any, in my previous life, everything that had happened in there had been people in my life that had made sure that I did not understand what was happening. Even though, you know, I'd played, you know, doctor with the kids down the street, but they were kids, and the kids stuff and adult stuff is like completely different species and unrecognizable in a kid's world.